Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And today's topic is about Microsoft and the leak documents. Yesterday I did a video about Nintendo. Microsoft was still looking to buy them out in a leaked email, and everybody thought it was leaked by FTC. Actually, it wasn't. To further leaks that Microsoft leaked it by themselves by accident. So yeah. So this is a treasure trove for content creators. I don't really consider myself as a content creator, just a part-timer doing this stuff for fun. But let's talk about this leak, Microsoft new diskless Xbox. Let's go back in time to 2013 when Microsoft E3, the guy before Phil Spencer, what's his name? I can't remember. When you talk about DRM, always online, the digital future, and let's just say the conference didn't go down too well, and then the following day when Sony did it, Sony capitalized on Microsoft's mistake. Of course, I remember talking to a friend of mine that this is not going away, it's going to happen, and of course as the years gone by, we've seen digital and so on. I won't go too much about the Microsoft leaked timeline. I just want to focus on this here. This may not be the final design. Phil Spencer just come out saying that, as usual, we all expected, oh, this was written years ago, this ain't fully planned. Fair enough, but I could imagine that some of these design will change, but I think the emphasis and essence will be the same. We all know if out of the three companies, Microsoft will be the first one to really go full digital. It's always been that way, I felt. Especially the way they're pushing Game Pass and cloud and all that kind of stuff. And leads me into so like I said, these leaks, so if you want to go more detail, go into, you just type in Microsoft leaks. There's a bunch of documents that are out there. So I want to talk about this, okay? It's the way they say it's going to be the same price as the current Series X. It's a cylinder tube design, which kind of beats the point of having a word box. Xbox, I'm going to call it X something else. It reminded me of when a few years ago when Apple did the Mac Pro, that cylinder design. I'm not a big fan of that because I actually, at home, for example, my setup, I have to place my Xbox vertically. It doesn't have enough space to stand horizontally, or I place my consoles flat, basically. I don't have enough space for them to standing up, and I don't see this allow you to lay down. Anyway, that's another design. But the fact is, digital, $499, which is probably going to be the same price in the UK. Recently, we had a price up, the extra £30 up, and no disk drive. You would think that where technology is getting cheaper and minus the disk drive. I got a phone call. Hey everyone, I'm back. Sorry about that. A friend of mine just called me up. Anyway, let's get back to this. What was I saying? Yeah, prices. You would think that the price of technology has gotten cheaper through the years, and the minus the disk drive would have been cheaper, maybe around the $399, £350 kind of thing. But the main thing is brought to my attention is how digital is. They're really pushing digital. So I want to take you to another. We all know that the PS5 leaks, because this is nothing concrete. Of course, we all know that next year, judging by the PS4 timeline, it was around the third, fourth year where they revised with a slim PS4 and a slim PS4 Pro. So I don't see any reason why Sony won't repeat that pattern again. And with the latest rumors about the PS5 Slim with a diskless model, and you can buy the disk drive separately, detachable disk drive. So Sony's kind of halfway in, or 1 foot in the digital world. I think they still understand their fan base, where a lot of the fans still buys physical. So this kind of leads me into the physical versus digital argument. Um, I think I mentioned this in plenty of my videos in the past, where I am a physical person, both physically and mentally, But don't get me wrong, I have purchased a fair few games digitally in the last few years, mostly indie games, smaller games that I just buy out either through Game Pass or just buy them for cheap on either eStore, Game Pass, or Sony online stores, right? I just buy them, and most of them don't even have a physical copy. So yeah, to buy indie games, smaller games, that's fine. But I'm always about physical. A lot of reasons why. I think it comes down to me, because I am from the old school, back in the 80s, early 80s, all the way down to Commodore, Spectrum, Amstrad, Amiga, all the way to like the first Nintendo console, and so on. So as a gamer, I don't know about today's gamers, but from my time, most gamers were collectors, are collectors, and still are collectors. And we like our cupboards, drawers, whatever, filled with content. It's I don't know. I'm not speaking for everyone. I'm speaking for myself and some of my friends or people who are around my age or thereabouts. Sometimes I just look at my collection, and once in a while I'll just take all my games off, rearrange them from genre to genre, or from publisher to publisher, to developer to developer, for example. Or sometimes I have, say, I rechange the position. For example, at the moment on my shelves, I have Nintendo at the top, Sony second, Xbox third. Sometimes I'll just rearrange them. It's just something that collectors tend to do. I'm one of the few people who still actually still collect Blu-ray discs, and I've still got a vast amount of Blu-rays and some classic DVDs that I still got. But most of the time, I've upgraded to Blu-ray. Don't get me wrong, just like everything, I've kind of backed off a bit. If you compare me 10 years ago, I would buy a majority of stuff on Blu-ray. Now, there's only the top films that I really like. I buy on Blu-ray, so I can watch it on my big TV and so on. But a lot of stuff is I stream, but it's only the ones I really want I buy on Blu-ray. So games is a little bit different. I would say with gaming, in the last 5 years, I would say that digital I purchased maybe around maximum 20%. I still have 80% of most of my collection physical. And that's where I think Nintendo will still kind of maintain. As far as I know, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, but Nintendo has come out saying that their digital and physical sales are around 50-50. And I know Nintendo fans love the physical games. That's one of the reasons why I still maintain physical copies. I think also second thing comes down to ownership. We all know what happened to Stadia. It didn't do so well. I mean, to be honest with you, when Stadia announced, I knew that was going to flop straight away. It's just all over the place. I think that a lot of companies need to look at that and say, okay, it was a bad start, but if you look at the essence and the core reason why Stadia flopped was many things. But one of the things I didn't get into Stadia was because ownership. Ownership as a gamer, as a collector, is a very important part of being a gamer, being a collector, right? You can spend, say, full price on the game digitally, but technically you don't really own it, because let's just say that Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo servers go down, and you have to, considering that what they want in the future is to play those games, you have to be online all the time. Imagine the server goes down, internet goes down, or Sony decides, or Nintendo, whoever decides to just, what, enough of that, let's close this game. You don't own it. I mean, I can go into my closet cupboard with all my classic, say, GameCube games, Super Nintendo games. I can just take them out, get my old console out, plug into the TV, whack the hard drive cartridge in, and still play the game. Of course, there will be a modification. For example, I can't plug in a Super Nintendo with the current TVs. I know I did some modification, so too loud to play. But the fact is, I can pick and choose when I want to play a classic game. I have ownership for it. I can borrow it to a friend or my brother, for example. And if the cartridge doesn't work, I can go and buy another copy when I feel like it. It's just that ownership that really makes me consider, you know. I mean, I know that it's heading that way. There's no different ifs and buts. It's definitely going to go in that direction the way things are. Yeah, and judging by some of the modern gamers, I've spoken to a lot of younger, like my nephews, nieces, my younger cousins. They all say, they don't really care too much. They want to have space. I think different generation, different mindset. Where me, you come to my bedroom, my room is cluttered with classic consoles and DVD, Blu-rays, to video games, to cartridges, and all that stuff. And to me, I like that stuff. To me, it's aesthetically pleasing. Where I go to my younger cousin, who's like 20 years younger than me, I go to his bedroom, it's like, wow, more clean cut, more kind of futuristic, kind of minimalist bedroom, computer there, laptop there, and all his games are stored on a hard drive, and his movies on the hard drive, which is cool, don't get me wrong. Different generations, different style, right? But I just feel that, and I think that a lot of the younger audience, younger generation, don't understand the ownership and how important that is. And yeah, like I said, digital is not the wrong way or the right way, or physical is not the wrong way or the right way. I just feel that that comes down to your personal preference. Me, I'm from the old generation. I still like physical copies, and also it's a psychological thing as well, where you buy something, you can touch it, you can feel it, you feel like, wow, I finally got this. It's just weird. It's like, I don't know. I mean, it's like before, go back 20 years ago, for example, my friends, my family would buy me a present for Christmas or birthday, for example, right? And you can, fully wrapped, but you can clearly see it's either Blu-ray, DVD, or video game, or a controller, or whatever. You open it up, wow, it's a GameCube game. And now they're giving me gift cards. Yeah, gift cards. Opening up is like, is this it? I know the value of the gift cards, maybe £100, £200, I can go and buy it. It's just like, I don't know, it's just a psychological thing. Because I would rather have a £50, £60 physical game than £100 gift card. Does that make sense? I don't know, it's just psychological. So anyway, this is going to be like end of my video, my rant, I suppose. Like I said, there's no wrong or right, it's just down to your personal preferences. But please let me know, what do you think? Are you physical or are you digital? Or are you both? Anyway, until next time, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. And please stay safe. Goodbye.